What's up, man? Shot fired.
Hey guys, Ray Bashir here with Blue Shield Tactical Systems. We just got through watching a dramatic video involving an officer-involved shooting from the driver's side approach. And that's what I want to talk about today, is the driver's side compared to the passenger side approach. And I believe we'll find the advantages there with that passenger side approach. Now, one thing, we've trained the public for us to approach on the driver's side, so that's what they're expecting. Now, you notice in this video, as the officers approach, he's doing a great job. He reaches out, he touches the car, something he's been trained to do. As he approaches there, he gets to that door frame and he's starting to lean in. And as soon as that driver sees his head come in, his body come into frame, because that's what he's sitting there with a gun and he's waiting for him to approach, he turns and he makes that initial fire at him, that initial shot. And luckily he misses the officer, and the officer is able to retreat and return fire. Now, also what happens and what we see sometimes is the officer makes a circle out into the lane of traffic, possibly getting struck by a vehicle, especially if you're on the highway. The other thing is, if the suspect leans out and continues to fire at the officer really has nowhere to go except for straight back down the vehicle, because he can't clear it yet until he gets to the end. Otherwise, like I said, he's going out to his left and into that lane of traffic. Now, the passenger side approach, which we'll see in this next video, I think it really saves this officer's life, because again, the suspect's sitting there waiting for the officer to get there. So let's take a look at that video.
10-3, he's got a gun. 10-3.
10-3 on 538. At Fort Block, Blair, North Wellington.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put them up! Put them up! Put them up! Put them up!
Guys, notice in that video as the officer approaches, I believe is what he does, which I think was very smart on his part. This is a nighttime stop, obviously. He uses those takedowns and he exits his driver's side, and then he walks around the back side of his vehicle. Then he comes up on that passenger side, and as he approaches, the driver is looking, has the gun waiting, and looking out the driver's side. We even see him lean out of the vehicle and start looking back, wanting the officer to come up there so he could shoot him. Now the officer goes up to that passenger side, sees him with that gun, and ends up obviously killing the suspect, as we saw in the video. Now, the other thing that we will notice about the passenger side approach, it doesn't necessarily eliminate the possibility of that round being fired at us. But we also want to think, as that suspect reaches out to point that gun and fire out that passenger side, he generally can only get one round off. And the reason being is because what gets in his way as he starts trying to track us as we're moving down the passenger side of that vehicle, and that would be the seat, that passenger seat. So as he's reaching out to fire and he's firing that first round, he has to pull his arm back in and then go back around that seat, or try to get it over the top of the seat to be able to engage you. Now, if he exits the driver's side to engage you as a police officer, now you've went down the passenger side and you've got the passenger side of your patrol vehicle that you can use at an angle, and the engine block of your vehicle to be able to engage him. So I think it's a much safer approach, especially at night when we're using our takedowns, and we've already trained the public for us to come up on that driver's side compared to that passenger side. So guys, play with both. I really don't see the necessarily the advantage of the driver's side approach. Some say communication, being able to talk through the passenger side window, but of course, or being able to write a citation and hand that to them through the passenger side window. If we have to, we could make our second approach, or if we need them to sign a citation, make the second approach on the driver's side. Generally, if they're waiting to shoot you and they have the gun in hand, they're going to do it on that first approach and not necessarily on that second approach. So I hope this helps. Any comments you have would be appreciated. Thanks. Log on to BlueshieldTactical.com to see our upcoming training dates. Have a good day.